Hello everybody, it's Claymore here and welcome back to the channel, and I am very happy to finally bring you guys the patch notes for Season 3. We've waited a half a year for the season to come out. We weren't supposed to get the patch notes out yesterday, but there was a bit of an internet outage hiccup in the Jaeger's offices, so I can bring them to you today. And just on that note as well, I will also be live tonight doing a late night stream playing Season 3. So check me out over there. In the meantime, let's get straight into the new patch notes. Very excited. This has been a long time coming. I've done a lot of testing in the background. There's my webcam. Right then, Season 3, Patch 3.0. Community team here. We know that you folks have been waiting to dive into the full patch notes for Season 3 for quite a while now, especially with all the teasing we've been doing the past couple of months. And that is finally over as the new season of the Cycle Frontier begins today, along with a bunch of new features and changes. The first big one we've all been asking about is no more wipes. No more wipes. You heard it here first. The final wipe is here. Players will start Season 3 completely fresh on an even playing field. Kiss your brute stash goodbye and put Season 2 behind you, because Season 3 will be taking you back to the start of the campaign where your prospecting journey began. So, obviously, a lot of people have been asking me about how this is going to work. I can tell you that we are going to continue getting seasons. So, just because we're getting no more wipes doesn't mean Season 3 is going to be the last season. So we're still going to get our new seasons and new content, lots of patches to come. They've said that plenty of times. And if you bought any of the packs, like any of the store packs or anything like that, you'll get all the gear re-granted back to you at the start of the season when you log in. I don't know how that'll work in terms of future seasons, but either way, you're going to have your stash immediately there for you, ready and waiting after you've done all the Badham quests. So, no more wipes. Very cool. We're also going to be having a possible update in the near future on optional wiping, which is going to be like the prestige system wipe, basically. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that. We've got free loadout runs. Players from Tarkov might know this. Scav runs, essentially. Essentially, if you found yourself low on K marks, maybe you're just starting out and learning the ways of prospecting, considering grabbing a free loadout provided with the various factions. On the menu deploy screens, players will now be met with an option to select your prospector's loadout of your equip from your stash, or select a free randomized loadout put together by one of the factions. So when you go to essentially start deploying, you'll see the little tab just below your loadout, and then the faction loadout. I can tell you that the loadout itself will be anything ranging from green to blue. You will have a completely random loadout, completely random, a small amount of meds, a small amount of ammo, and potentially some decent attachments on your gun. So it seems to be every 10 to 15 minutes currently. So if you wanted to just do a quick budget run, or if you get a phasic out and you really want to get the phasic out, you could just run straight to extract as well. Pretty cool. Always love these, and hopefully we'll see some more faction interactions with the free loadout runs too, maybe some improved stuff. And this is a big one for me personally. Loadout presets. It's pretty much how it sounds like. You go to your stash, you'll have 3 different presets currently, and you can just select it all straight away with a couple clicks of the button. Very small thing in the grand scheme of things, but a massive quality of life improvement if you just want to get straight back into the action. Really do appreciate this feature. It was cool to try it on the PTR. It's cool to see it even better looking in the actual Season 2. And this is something we've covered a fair bit, the Howler. So, I'll keep this brief. The Howler will patrol all maps of Bright Sands, Crescent Falls, and Tharis Island. It'll essentially have different nest locations throughout each map. It can land at these nests and rest in them and sleep in them. The nests themselves have different bits of loot around them and stuff like that, mostly the honey pellets. But the Howler itself will, whilst it's patrolling the map, will kind of like send out like a sonar detection kind of ability. And if you're moving close by when it's doing this, it'll detect you and start coming after you. So when you see it doing this and you're within range of it, make sure you stand still, completely still. The attacks it'll do ranged kind of like volley attacks, and these volley attacks will also turn into like a proximity mine attack. The darts it fires will hit you for a small amount of damage, but if they're left behind in like the ground, they'll explode and do a bigger chunk of damage to you then, so stay careful and stay away from those. It'll also do some melee attacks and stuff like that if you get too close. And once it reaches 50%, it'll enrage, and then it'll use its main attack you've probably seen in some of the trailers, the big scream. Once again, like its sonar ability, when it's doing this, make sure you stand still. It'll do less damage to you. It'll still do a lot of damage, but it'll do less damage to you. So when you see it kind of like winding up the attack, bear that in mind. Aside from that, we're going to get a bunch of new factions, faction quests and stuff like that for it. It'll drop some unique loot. The loot it have will sell pretty well, or it'll go towards crafting and quests. So yeah, that's more or less it. The Howler nests themselves will also have like eggs around them, which will also serve as proximity mines. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Very cool art. Very cool art. The war and cheating. So obviously, as a lot of us know, and if you're coming back to season 3 from season 1, cheaters were very rampant during season 1. They did a lot of updating and they turned it completely up on its head. Season 2, the cheater situation went from being a big problem to a very small minority problem. And they've continued to make them more improved no matter what. They'll be consistent with it. So we've got some more anti-cheat updates here. We've got shielded matchmaking, which essentially is trusted v untrusted. So players with suspicious-looking accounts that fit the qualifications will go into untrusted lobbies alongside other cheaters. So they're going to be... Essentially, it's going to be like the cheater's going to be versus other cheaters. The untrusted system right now is a bit... It's not quite too sure how it's explained, how it kind of like you can fit into it. But essentially, it'll work as if you do get placed into untrusted. If you just play X amount of games and nothing weird happens, they don't detect anything weird of your gameplay, you'll get straight into the trusted lobbies, which is good. Victim compensation, once again, this system's been improved throughout Season 2, so if you do run into some cheater and you die to them, and they've been banned, or even then, if you've met someone who's been doing a critical game glitch and they've been abusing it a lot, and they get suspended for doing that, the victim compensation will trigger and you'll get all your gear back, which is pretty nice. Data obfuscation makes the creation and development of cheats more difficult and time-consuming, so it doesn't makes the game less profitable in the long run because there's more resources and more time spent into updating these cheats, which means that cheaters on RM tiers are more likely to go into different games for this. That's a good idea. We've got third-party tools, better in-game reports, and many more back-end improvements. So very good. A new home prospectation updates. Yes, prospectation looks much different now. You'll see generally the same kind of station, but it's been given a huge makeover. It's going to feel way more alive for a start with, and there's going to be different places edited. Buildings have been changed up as well, and there'll be also some small updates too, like the NPC, audio and voice lines and stuff like that. It's going to feel way more like a home, like a home that's alive, which is good, which I'm really happy with. Economy tuning for a non-wiping game, big thing here. Obviously, as we've been doing some testing and stuff like that and making sure that the economy feels better, this economy now has to completely update to make sure that it accommodates a much longer term lasting economy, basically. And Jaeger have been hard at work at trying to get it all right. They've included a lot more money sinks into the game, which is good. We didn't have enough money sinks in the first 2 seasons, and there's going to be some changes to be made, because you can't really get a proper model of a live economy system in test builds. You have to release it essentially out into the world to really get that fine-tuned. But they did a lot of foundational work, and they put a lot of thought into it regardless. So there might be some stuff that will be changed eventually. But essentially, the biggest money sinks right now are probably going to be... armor's going to be a bit more fragile, so you have to repair it more. Weapons, and especially higher tier weapons, will now cost scrip. So you have to keep doing your job and stuff like that to afford to run the really good stuff. And each weapon tier will now have a unique ammo type as well. So you can't use regular grey ammo in a core now, for example. You need to use the exotic ammo for it, or the purple ammo for it. And this ammo was obviously more expensive. And then there's a bunch of other things as well, in terms of money sinks and stuff, but the main thing we're now expecting, and Jaeger have said that they're going to be working on this, is an armor degradation system. So essentially what that means is, like in other games, like in Tarkov, like in DayZ, at least in certain modded servers, if your armor gets really low and you repair it, it won't go to the original full value, it'll get lower and lower and lower as time goes on, which will mean that the armor itself won't infinitely circle through the community through the economy, which is good. Aside from that, bunch more little ammo sinks money sinks here and there, and then that's it. New weapons, MK1 and MK2 variants. Now the MK1 variants are essentially going to be store-bought. They're going to be weaker versions of the based on the gun that they're the MK1 variants of, but they're going to be much more cheaper and much more affordable to run, and they're still going to perform reasonably well. And they're going to serve as like a nice little option for you to alternate through when you're kind of bouncing between using a lot of your money and script on high-end iron guns and other stuff, and then you bounce between MK1 guns, which aren't going to suck up your resources nearly as much. MK2 guns right now are essentially our better versions of the gun they're based on. So you can get like a green bolty as it sees in the image here, which is going to be absolutely terrifying. You can get like a blue manticore, for example, as well. And these variants are only found in raid, so you can't buy them, which is really, really good. I really like that. Gives you, the player, more reason to go out and keep looting, even though you progress quite late to try and find those very cool MK2 guns. And they also just perform generally way, way better. They'll even have like different attachment slots and stuff like that on them, or like default, maybe they have more of a bigger magazine, which is brilliant. So yeah, that's MK2 guns. Balancing improvements. Obviously, we've been doing a lot of this during Season 2. A lot of weapons have been balanced. Armor's been balanced. Obviously, there are balances to be made. But the biggest thing they've done regarding the balancing is the starting capacity of each safe pocket has been increased from 5 to 9. So you're going to start off with 9 size safe pockets now, which is awesome, which is brilliant. And obviously that means that the safe pocket upgrades will be, and the quarters will be a little bit slower, but this is a good change. So the standard variants of Strider Rattlers have had their total health reduced. So they shouldn't be as spongy now, which means you're not going to be able to give away position nearly as much. And this is a big one here. Mid-air accuracy has been reduced for most weapons to help make the combat feel a bit more grounded. Which was a big thing during a lot of PvPing in Season 2, is that it would mostly devolve down to bunny hopping and jumping and stuff like that while shooting, and there wouldn't be any penalty for doing that. Because as a lot of people know, jumping takes up stamina, but you can still jump whilst you're at 0 stamina. So a balance needs to be made. This is good for the game, and it also gives you players a bit more of a chance against these bigger PvP warlords. We've got a lot of crafting changes, and crafting timers have been reduced, and there have been changes across the board to loot drops and rewards to help facilitate the new economy. So yeah, good stuff there. MMR updates. This is a big topic that'll turn a lot of people away from the game. Long story short, the MMR has been for quite a while now. Been a blend of factors. These factors could have been KD, it could have been win rate versus death rate, it could have been your average loot haul and stuff. It could have been a lot of different things, and there's also an element of the gear you run in there too, so you're more likely to run into the same kind of gear level that you are running. Obviously, the point of the extraction genre is the tense uncertainty of not sure who you're going to be running into. You could be running into a grey kit AI, you could be running into a purple kit advocate. You don't know. But there will be a gear score combination with KD determining a player's MMR calculations, which means that ideally, newer players who are running green, grey, and even blue kits won't be running into exotic kits at nearly as much. There's still probably a small chance you're going to run into them, but for the most part, it's going to kind of like fine-tune that and kind of shrink that possibility down even more. We found the separation of sides, buckets, and squad sides on all 3 maps. So it doesn't matter now. As long as you are in trusted matchmaking. If you queue in as a solo, you will only see solos. If you queue in as a duo, only duos, and trios as a trio. Keeps it fair, keeps it right. Early game experience updates. Essentially, they've just reworked a lot of the early game tutorial stuff and quests, so it's not going to be as overwhelming, and it's not going to be as kind of daunting. Basically they've they made the experience for you, the newer player, much easier to work through. And yeah, it's much better tuned. It'll flow better for you, and you get a better grip of things. That's generally that. Locked keycard room improvements. This has been a very, very big thing throughout the entirety of Season 2 as well, is that the keycard room loot just didn't feel worth pushing. You know, and it's not just the keycard room loot, but the power room puzzle loot as well didn't seem too consistent. And now, the keycards are going to have less uses, much less uses, but the loot itself is going to be way, way better, which I think is an absolutely great balance. You know, you might have 1 use or 2 uses or 3 uses on your keycard, but you know every time you go there, you're going to get something good. And that's how it should be, you know, especially because a lot of these keycard rooms are in very dangerous places. Pinnacle Labs, for example, is a very, very dangerous place to go to with all the creatures, and people are very easily brought up there to get portable labs and other stuff. So your keycard rooms are going to give you much more loot, which is good. We've got the Fortuna Pass here. We've got a bunch of new skins. This is all here. This is all good cosmetics, new characters, 3 new melee weapons, an exclusive pickaxe skin, which is a first, and more weapon skins and stuff. The crates that are going to drop through the Season 3 Fortuna Pass now going to have the MK2 guns and new ammo. Nice. XP rewards and bonuses were slightly tweaked, and XP curve is now non-linear at later levels of the pass to a bit more XP than in Season 2. The first 15 levels of the pass not affected at all with this change, so a bit more grinding, because I completed the Season 2 Fortuna Pass fairly quickly, I think, within the first month or two or so, yeah. So, we've got new Prospector archetypes, which are essentially going to be the full characters. We've got the Unbound Synth, which is going to be, it's really cool. It's basically like a mostly synthetic humanoid with like see-through parts and stuff. It's really, really cool. I've got the Artillery, the Jungle Bandit, and the Authority Operative. And I think we've got a new, yep, there it is. We've got a new free DLC down here as well, coming on March the 30th. That's tomorrow. There's an Abyss Alloy there as well. An Abyss Alloy Charm, actually. That's pretty cool. And a cool little jacket as well there for you if you guys wanted it. We've got shop bundles as well if you're interested in that. Lots of different skins. The Howler Tamer, personally for me, looks really cool. I really want this pack. It looks really good. That brute looks absolutely nuts. We got the Authority Peacekeeper bundle as well, which very big Power Ranger vibes, not going to lie. But it does look pretty cool if you're into that. And now, finally, for the list of changes, this is the big one. DLSS 3 has been implemented and will be available for all those compatible graphics processors. So if you want a DLSS, there you go. To make them more exciting in-game challenge, laser drills now be exclusive to Crescent Falls. They may return to Bright Sands again in the future with some balancing tweaks. Now, I know a lot of people might be upset about this because Bright Sands drills are very easy to do before. But now with the MMR's changes, now with Crescent Falls being exclusive to laser drills now, your drills are going to be way more intense, way more exciting, and you're going to have to really, really fight for them. Very, very cool change, liking it, because I think it was a bit too easy to do on Bright Sands originally. The Crusher Caverns have had a massive overhaul. The caves will now be a significantly difficult, more endgame activity that will take team coordination and top-end gear to survive. Hopefully the rewards reflect this then, because a more difficult dungeon sounds really, really cool to me. It was kind of difficult before, but it's good that it was made more layers of difficulty added onto it, you know? Prospectors will now take a short ride to the evac ship before fully extracting. Yes, I did this during the PTR and I freaked out. I thought it bugged, but don't worry, that's intentional. And like the section says, you get to enjoy a good view as well. A new grenade with the Howler Shriek contained inside will be craftable using Howler loot drops. The Howler, the Shriek grenade is actually really cool as well because it stuns PvE. So that's really, really cool. Added a new weapon inspection feature, new animations let prospectors check out their cool skins of weapons and melee sets. Yes, finally an inspect feature. Players will now have a chance to find weapons with preloaded attachments while looting different areas. The rarity of the attachment will determine which chances of spawning. Aha. So you can find weapons that already have some mods in them. That's pretty cool. Attachments, consumables, and items all have clear numerical values about how they affect different mechanics. Very good. So ideally, in my mind, that would mean that you know exactly how much damage you'll do with the grenade. Stims will tell you exactly how much they heal, and so on. Good. New and updated quest lines. Rumble did a very good job with them, all I'm going to say. Prospectors will now have the ability to redeem promotion codes and coupons directly from the game to receive promotional items without going to their store launcher, and that's pretty cool. I'll always love to see that. Names and descriptions of armor and helmets are now more descriptive of their functions to better fit the lore. Weapon description text have been updated to include distances at which the gunshot sounds are audible. Pretty cool. Some crafting recipes have been updated to require Howler loot drops. Virus Island will not be accessible or unlockable by way of campaign missions immediately at the start of the season. As a result, crafting or player upgrades that require items only obtained on Theris will be temporarily inaccessible until April 19th when the island will be globally unlocked. Theris will be unlocked for, I think that's 50 days or so? 50 days or so? So yeah, no forging just yet, which I think is good. They need to get a lot of things in place before Virus Island unlocks, and it wouldn't really make sense if Virus is available straight away during a no-wipe format. So that's absolutely fine. And a lot of cool changes apparently early in the above. We'll talk about Virus Island soon, so that's cool. New keycard has been added to the lineup of keycards, possibly related to the new keycard. A new way to enter and exit the fort has been added to Theris Island. The door can be dangerous, so proceed with caution. a new route in and out of the forge. That's what we've been asking for. Now we have it. Very good. Keycard availability and durability received an update. Keycard cost has been updated to include a script cost purchasable from the factions. Player quarter upgrades received an update to include higher KMAC investment and new recipes for upgrade costs. Gear durability and up repair costs have been changed to work better with a long-term economy in mind. New ammo varieties. What due to pass and rewards. Excuse me. Badham's first drop of welcome packages have reason to ultimate the experience as good as possible. A hard limit of 10 million KMAX have been added to the cap amount of KMAX a player can own at any given time. Sorry, big streamers, myself included, we can't just keep infinitely stack up KMAX now. Our favourite barkeep Badham will now give prospectors a unique questline with rewards after completing the FTUE missions, which will be available on April 19th. Very cool. Improve the penalty prevention of players spawning next to each other to give players prospectors more breathing room when they drop into Fortune 3. Good, so better spawns as well. And a very, very big list of individual bug fixes and miscellaneous changes too. And they're working on some other stuff here as well. And that's going to be it for the patch notes, guys. It's big. It's very, very big. I'm very, very happy with it. I'll be live tonight, like I said, doing a late stream, a no-com stream. Because I've not had any chance to do it this afternoon. But yes, so I'll see you tonight if you want to stop by there. But otherwise, guys, have a good time in Season 3. And tell your friends about it. And that being said, if you would like to get your friends into it, I would really appreciate you if you would use my own referral link. I'll put it on the screen right now. I'll put it down in the information too. Will really help me out a lot. And yeah, with that being said, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Good night, take care, stay safe, love you all, and peace.